What would be some advice you would give to some promotions, AEW or whoever nowadays?
I'm not going to give anybody advice because I'm not in the business anymore. There's a lot of information I don't have. With regard to AEW, I have no idea what the goals of the network are. I have no idea what the strategy to achieve those goals may be. I have no idea what the business plan for AEW looks like. So how can anybody honestly, now you can do it in a dirt sheet, or you can do it as kind of a hypothetical conversation. But man, unless you're in the business, you can't really comment on the business because there's too much you don't know. So I shy away from that. But in a general sense, if anybody, no matter who it is, wanted to compete with WWE, you got to go after them. You just got to go after them, not just be in the same business they are, but go after them. Try to take real estate away from them. Try to take audience away from them. That's a war. Everything else is cosplay. And that's okay. Cosplay's cool. A lot of people make a lot of money with cosplay, not being negative about it.
Right.
Well, it sounds like I am by referring to it as cosplay, but I think you get my point, or hopefully people will get my point.
Yeah.
It's okay just to be in the wrestling business and be very successful just being in the wrestling business. And there's room for that. And there's room for growth in that position. But when one says, how do you turn WWE upside down? How do you compete with WWE? That's a different conversation. Now you're assuming that that's the goal of the network that AEW is on. You're assuming that's the growth strategy and the business plan for AEW. And if it is, my advice would be, just go for the throat. Quit dancing around. You want a war? Attack them on their home front, which is Monday night or Friday night. Go after their A show. Don't go after their C show. It doesn't mean anything. Go after their A show and produce a better show than them and win the majority of the audience. It's no different than a restaurant. If you're putting an Italian restaurant up next to a Japanese restaurant, you have to provide a product that the people that go to restaurants on that block prefer. It's no different with wrestling. But I don't know that would be a smart thing to do anymore. First of all, WWE is a lot stronger now than they were in 94, 95 when I started going after them. Really not until 95 with Nitro. From a financial perspective, they are a much different company now than they were back then. So that made it easier for me to do things that were harder for them to compete with. It was a big expense for them to go from a taped Monday Night Raw or every other episode being taped to going to a full-time 52-a-week live schedule. And they did that because of me or Nitro. Well, that was a tough decision for them, and they had to figure out how to afford that. And it pushed them to the verge of bankruptcy. So I've been told. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but might have been close. Now, are you kidding me? They're so financially deep, just like AEW is through the parent company. But the WWE, is so financially deep now that it's a lot harder to put pressure on them financially.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at the Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Hannibal TV.